Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract others effortlessly, while the rest of us struggle to make meaningful connections? Why is it that certain individuals walk into a room and instantly draw people toward them, like moths to a flame? It's not their looks, it's not their wealth, and it's certainly not their pickup line. Think about it. We've all met conventionally attractive people who somehow repel others, and we've all encountered individuals who, despite not fitting society's narrow beauty standards, have people gravitating toward them constantly. So what is it? What's that mysterious quality that makes someone truly irresistible? Today, I'm going to reveal the single most powerful trait that creates genuine attraction. And I promise you, it's probably not what you're thinking. But first, let's talk about what it's not. It's not confidence, at least not in the way most people think about confidence. That brash, never doubting yourself energy that so many dating coaches push as the ultimate solution. It's not humor, though being able to laugh together certainly helps. The truth is that the most irresistible quality a person can possess is vulnerability. Yes, vulnerability. Pause and let that sink in for a moment. In a world obsessed with portraying strength, perfection, and unshakable confidence, genuine vulnerability has become not just rare, but revolutionary. But there's a problem. Most of us have completely misunderstood what vulnerability actually means. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's not oversharing your life story on a first date. It's not trauma dumping or using your past as a shield against genuine connection. True vulnerability is the courage to be authentically yourself, even when it's scary. It's the willingness to show up without your armor, to let someone see the real you, flaws, uncertainties, quirks, and all. And here's why it's so irresistible. When you're vulnerable, you give others permission to be vulnerable too. Think about how exhausting modern dating has become. We're all presenting these carefully curated versions of ourselves. The perfect photos, the witty banter, the facade of having it all together. But deep down, what we're all craving is authenticity. A break from the performance. A chance to exhale and say, this is me, the real me. When you offer that kind of authenticity first, when you lower your shield even slightly, you create a space where real connection becomes possible. Let me tell you about Jamie. Jamie had been single for 3 years after a devastating breakup. Date after date ended with the same result. Pleasant conversation, but no spark, no feeling of real connection. On what Jamie had decided would be a last attempt at online dating, something different happened. Tired of the same choreographed dance, when Jamie's date asked the standard question, "So, how's your day been?" Instead of the usual, "Great," Jamie took a breath and said, "Actually, it's been pretty tough. I'm nervous about this date. My boss was difficult today, and I spilled coffee on my original outfit. So, I'm a bit of a mess, but I'm really glad to be here with you." The date looked surprised, then smiled with visible relief. "Thank God," they said. "I've been on 5 dates this month, where everyone pretended their life was perfect. This feels real." That date turned into a relationship that continues to this day. Why? Because in that moment, Jamie was irresistible, not despite the admission of struggle, but because of it. Now, there's an important distinction to make here. Effective vulnerability isn't random. It isn't reckless. Imagine vulnerability as a door to your inner world. Healthy vulnerability isn't leaving that door wide open for anyone to wander through. That's not irresistible. It's concerning. Instead, it's about opening the door just enough at appropriate moments to allow someone trustworthy to be invited in. It's progressive, it's reciprocal, and it's intuitive. You might share something small but genuine on a first date, a real opinion, an authentic feeling, a small fear. Then you watch. Does this person honor what you've shared? Do they meet your vulnerability with their own? This is how vulnerability becomes not just attractive, but protective. It helps you identify who deserves more of your authentic self. Because here's something crucial to understand. Vulnerability that is respected becomes intimacy. Vulnerability that is exploited becomes trauma. The difference lies in who you're choosing to be vulnerable with. You see, the irresistible quality of vulnerability has a filter built into it. It naturally selects for people who value authenticity and genuine connection. It repels those who are only interested in games or surface-level interaction. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I've been hurt before when I opened up. How can I be vulnerable again? That's a valid concern, and it points to something important. Vulnerability requires courage, perhaps more courage than any other aspect of dating. It's easier to hide, to present only your highlight reel, to keep conversations light and superficial. But what are you really protecting? A connection that never had the chance to become something meaningful? Remember though, vulnerability isn't just about sharing difficult things. It's also about being honest about what you want and need, expressing joy without dampening it for fear of seeming too much. Admitting when you don't know something instead of pretending you do. And perhaps most importantly, it's about being present, truly, fully present with another person, without the distractions of your phone or thoughts about how you're being perceived. That kind of presence is increasingly rare in our distracted world, and it's absolutely magnetic. Let me share another story that illustrates this. Michael was known among his friends as the charmer, good-looking, successful, with an endless supply of witty comebacks. He never had trouble getting first dates, but he noticed a pattern. They rarely turned into seconds or thirds. In a moment of frustration, he asked his closest friend why she thought this kept happening. "Because nobody feels like they've actually met you," she said. "They've met your resume, your highlights, your carefully crafted image. But you, the real Michael, he never shows up." That hit home. The next time Michael went on a date, he challenged himself to answer one question, just one, with complete honesty, even if it made him uncomfortable. When his date asked what he was looking for in a relationship, instead of his usual polished answer about partnership and growth, he paused. Then he said, "You know, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I used to say I wanted someone who challenges me intellectually, but honestly, what I really want is someone who makes me feel safe enough to be myself, someone I don't have to impress or perform for. I've been doing that my whole life, and I'm exhausted." He described that moment as terrifying, but also liberating. His date's response? "That's the most honest thing anyone has said to me in months. They've been together for 2 years now." The irony is striking, isn't it? We spend so much energy trying to appear perfect, when what actually draws people to us is our willingness to be imperfect, to acknowledge our struggles, to be human. This doesn't mean exposing every wound on a first date or treating potential partners as therapists. It simply means allowing people to see that there's depth beneath the surface, that you contain multitudes, that you're a complex person with strengths and weaknesses. And here's where vulnerability becomes truly transformative. It doesn't just change how others see you, it changes how you see yourself. When you stop exhausting yourself with the performance of perfection, you create space for genuine self-acceptance. And self-acceptance is the fertile soil from which authentic connection grows. So how do you cultivate this irresistible trait? First, start small. Vulnerability is a muscle that strengthens with use. Begin by being more honest about your feelings in low-risk situations. Second, practice self-compassion. The kinder you are to yourself, the less you'll fear others' judgment. Third, seek out people who respond positively to your authenticity. Not everyone deserves your vulnerability. And finally, remember that true vulnerability isn't about performing weakness. It's about authentic self-disclosure with the intention of creating genuine connection. The most beautiful part of this journey is discovering that what makes you most attractive is not pretending to be someone else. It's being more fully yourself. In a world of carefully curated social media personas and dating profiles optimized for maximum appeal, genuine vulnerability stands out like a lighthouse in the fog. It cuts through the noise. It creates moments of real human connection. And yes, it makes you absolutely irresistible to the people who are right for you. So the next time you're tempted to hide your authentic self behind a mask of perfection, remember, what we're all really looking for is someone real, someone who makes us feel less alone in our own humanity. Be that person. Open that door, even if just a little, and watch how the right people are drawn to the light of your authentic self.